The most effective way to build muscle mass and build and shape a body that you love is to understand progressive overload and also making sure that you're not overstressing your body, which can actually cause muscle tissue breakdown, the opposite of what we want. Let's dive in. The most effective and proven by science ways to apply progressive overload is allowing your body to have a stimulus change. It needs to be challenged. If you're going through the motions or not super challenged during your sets and not slowing down at all during your sets or questioning, am I even going to get this up? You're not lifting heavy enough. Now, form is always above everything. If you're not lifting with proper form, that's failure. That is literally failure because your form is breaking down. But when your form is on point, your reps, you should be squeezing your abs so tight. Your heart rate's increasing, you're out of breath because you're squeezing your body so tight and pushing that up and pushing that up. And it's barely going up. And you're like, I'm going to get it up. I'm going to get it up. And you're pushing. And it stops there. Oh, you can't get it up. That's failure, right? That is muscle failure in proper form. But when you're pushing and you're like, all right, sweet. Got 10 done. That's pretty hard. You're leaving so many gains on the table. And in reality, you might not even be growing muscle at all. Okay. Now, it's not just about reps. It's not just about increasing your load, although that's very important. Let me show you an example. So if you are doing, let's say, for example, a hip thrust, okay? And here is how you track your weight if you're basically making no muscle gains, okay? You're doing the same weight every time. You're not really putting any notes by it. You're like, okay, cool, got them all for 10. Sweet, I'm good, next exercise. It is such a waste of time. I mean, it's beautiful that you're lifting weights and certainly it's great that you're there, but you're probably just maintaining. You're not really doing anything, right? We definitely want to work way smarter and harder. All right, so progressive overload may look like this. You still have your 4 sets of 10, but when you're doing 125, you get to 10 and you're like, I wonder if I could pump out one more. You do another one. I wonder if I could pump out one more. You do another one. One more rep. You do another one. Can I do one more? You do another one and then go to failure. You're like, okay, I did 125 reps and pounds, and I got 14 reps. Amazing. Increase your weight. If you can do 2 or more reps than what your program is asking for, increase your weight. Now, if you're unsure if you can do that again, try that same weight, the 125, and maybe you get 13, okay? If that's the case, again, increase your weight. So here we got 125, we did 14 and decide to increase our weight. Now we're doing 135. I can jump up by 10s because it's a much bigger muscle group, so we can lift a lot more, right? You can still do 12 reps. Those last maybe 6 or more reps, they're very hard. This is not easy. It is super challenging, right? You get to the 10 and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm so tired. No, your mind is quitting far before your body really quits. So say, okay, one more rep. I'm going to pump this out. I'm going to pump out one more rep. You're like, oh shoot, I just got it up. I didn't think I could do it. I'm tired. My body's shaking. My muscles are burning. Doesn't matter. Keep your form. Can you do one more? Turns out you can. Boom. You may want to do 135 again to make sure that you can actually hit the full 10. But if you're like, no, I think I'm good, go up to 145. Boom. You got 145. You're like, one more rep. Can I do that 11th rep? And you cannot. You found your working weight for this exercise, for this session. Okay. Do it again. The reason I say do that one again instead of increasing weight is because you failed, right? The 11th rep, you failed. Amazing. You found a very, very, very good sweet spot. Do it again and see, can I get another 10 out of this higher weight? And you could. And then I said, go up, which means my body was like, man, I'm really shaking. I'm really doing the things. Yeah, I think I could go up. Going up next session could actually look like 145, 145, 145, 155. Or it could like 145, 145, 155, 155, right? But when you're doing this, you're not even challenging yourself. How many reps are you actually getting? You really could only go to 10. And then the next 3, you're hitting the exact same every single set. Probably not, right? So progressive overload is really keeping track and pushing far beyond what your mind believes it can go, pushing far beyond what your mind believes it can go. One of our coaches, Sierra, shared an example. She was doing an exercise for 20 reps. Takes a lot of mental resilience. At rep number 10, her muscles were burning. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm done. She's like, no, I'm going to go one more. No, I'm going to go one more. No, I'm going to go one more. She got 21 reps out of that weight. But the problem is most women stop when it's super hard and your muscles are burning. But there's actually so much more left in the tank. And if you're like, no, there's really not. Yes, there is. It's your mindset. Your body's going to do what your mind says for it to do. Your mind quits long before your body actually quits. So you tell your body one more rep. You tell your body, no, I can do this. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. See how strong I am. And you'll see you have way more left in the tank. A problem I see all the time over the last 15 years training women is women say, my form is on point. I have been doing this for a long time. I know for a fact I have great form. 100% of the time, without fail, I view their form and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so many things to work on. So let's put our ego to the side and have a professional look at form feedback. This is something we constantly do for our one-on-one coaching clients. Send videos of form feedback, we tell them, so we can help them with every tiny little shift and opening the chest and shoulder blades back and down and learning how to create that intra-abdominal pressure and learning how to use your abs to stabilize your body and to protect your spine. Those things are vital to be able to push heavy without injury. Another form of progressive overload that does not include adding weight, but is just as important, changing your plane of movement. So for example, doing a lateral raise like this versus doing a lean away lateral raise, right? Versus doing a lean forward lateral raise versus doing a lean back lateral raise versus doing a cable lateral raise versus doing a seated lateral raise, a standing lateral raise. Those are also different variations of the same movement pattern. So the same type of movements are required to build and shape an amazing physique, a squat, a deadlift, a hip hinge, and so on. But it is vital to not do barbell deadlift, barbell deadlift, barbell deadlift, barbell deadlift. There are so many other variations, and let's take a look. Here are just 4 examples of the squat pattern, and there are many, many more. The stance or in the traditional stance. We have, I know this one is very small, we have a box squat where you're sitting on the box, which changes your momentum, and then you're standing up. There is a barbell back squat and a low bar
and that's the difference
barbell
in the
back
bar
squat,
placement.
high versus low. It completely changes where the load is. There's a front squat. All of these are very necessary, and if you're not changing your types of movement patterns and adding in variations, you are leaving so many gains on the table. It's not about doing the same thing over and over. It's about utilizing movement patterns in a strategic way to place volume, the right amount of volume per muscle group each week and each 4 to 6 week phase of training to create the outcome that you're wanting to create. So if you don't know how much volume you're putting on your body per week, per 4 to 6 week phase, you're leaving so many gains on the table. I had a beautiful lady send me her training program that another trainer sent her to show me what it is. And I said, oh my gosh, you're going to get 0 results from this. There was like 5 sets on her hamstrings, I think 11 sets on her quad, and maybe it was 8 sets on her glutes. I'm like, you're going to maintain your physique. And as a quad dominant society, to put more emphasis on quads and such little emphasis on the posterior chain is a huge mistake, let alone you're going to create no muscle growth at that volume, right? So if you're continuing to do an incorrect program for your body or an incorrect amount of volume for your body will not change. You will stay the same and feel frustrated, which is understandable. Another issue that I see people making all the time, especially as women, we need more volume on our lower body, our legs and our glutes than we need on our upper body. When we put more volume on our lower body than our upper body in each 4 to 6 week phase, they're going to develop at about the same rate. Our lower body simply takes longer and it needs more volume to develop that beautiful shape. To get the muscle tone and to see more definition, yes, physique shaping is mandatory. And it's also about getting to a low enough body fat percentage with the right macros to create body recomposition, right? Shedding fat and building muscle mass. To get the most optimal results from your workout programming, research shows every 4 to 6 weeks, maybe sometimes 8, but every 4 to 6 weeks is going to maximize hypertrophy, which is muscle size, right? We're really growing our muscles. Week 1, you're getting used to the movement patterns, understanding your weight selection. Week 2, you're really nailing down your weight selection and nailing down your movement patterns. Week 3 and 4, we're hitting PRs. Boom. Week 5, new phase, stimulus change, more body change, right? Because then we're not giving your muscles the opportunity to adapt and stop changing. We're requiring them to grow and shape and build over 4 weeks by pushing hard and then changing the program design. Not only does this create a new stimuli, which is so vital for muscle growth, but also you cannot focus on every muscle to grow every week. There's not enough time in the day, but also your body needs recovery. So every 4 to 6 week phase, you need to be identifying, okay, what muscles am I growing this phase? And if you don't know, that's a huge problem. In addition to this, think of your programming in 6, 12, maybe 18-month phases. It is vital to make sure you are eliminating muscle imbalances, not creating more muscle imbalances, right? Making sure that your body is safe and holding itself, right? And making sure that your stabilizer muscles are strong, making sure you're strong on both sides of your body. But also you need to be making sure that you're building a balanced physique. How much shoulder work have I had this last 6 months? Volume, by volume. How much glute work? How much back work? How much hamstring work? These pieces are absolutely vital for optimal progressive overload, optimal muscle growth, and for sure, shaping your body. How to determine and apply RPE between reps and sets. RPE is a huge mistake to go by unless you're extraordinarily trained, in your mindset, because women think they're at an RPE of 10 and then they send us their workout videos and we're like, no, you were at like a 6 or a 7. They're like, no, I was pushing so hard. It's like, you weren't even slowing down. You have so much more in the tank, but because mentally you haven't built that resilience and mentally you haven't quite built the mind muscle connection enough, and mentally you haven't trained yourself to dig deep when your body and your mind primarily says, I'm done. You say, no, you're not. We're pushing. Oh, look, I just got another rep. I'm done. No, you're not. We're pushing. Oh my gosh, I just got 2 more reps, right? RPE is not the scale to go by. What you need to do is train your mind in grit and resilience and say, one more rep, one more rep, one more rep. How many do I got? I got more than that. Your mind should not be saying, okay, I'm done. If you're saying that, there's so many gains left on the table. You should be telling your body, let's go, let's go. I have more in me. I know I can get this up. I have more in me. I know I can get this up. And then when you physically can't get it up, but your mind is saying, let's go, let's go. I know you can get it up. I know you can get it up, but your body physically can't get it up. Boom. Now you found your actual form failure, your actual muscle failure. Don't let your mind quit first. It will try every single time. Okay. Beautiful. Remember, this goes far past your muscles burning and far past when you think you're done. Okay. If your lifting session is decently easy, you're getting through it pretty well, and you're like, that's pretty good. I could double up on workouts this week. I'm going on vacation, so I could do 2 workouts, or I can literally work out every single day of the week. I don't even need a rest day. You are not pushing hard enough. Not even close. There should be no possible way you can do 2 lifting sessions in a day, and there should be no possible way that you can train every single day. That shows that you are going through the motions, and there's so much more left in the tank. Don't be the one that's at the gym not getting results. Push hard. It is so cool when you experience this, because not only does your body change, but you build a lot of confidence and you build a lot of mental resilience that plays a huge role in so many aspects of your life. Beautiful. So what's the science behind cortisol, right? We had the question of, if I really do HIIT, is that really going to affect my muscle mass? And you can see here, cortisol breaks down muscle tissue, right, for energy, and it obviously negatively affects recovery. So if you have too much stress on your body, yes, it will 1,000,000% hinder muscle growth. Stress management, sleep, and recovery are absolutely vital for muscle growth. There's no way around it. Beautiful. All right, I want to show you this example. Left is December 2024 in maintenance, and on the right is June 2025 in surplus. You can see so much glute and leg growth, huge quads, definite hamstring development. Does she have a little fat on her body? Yes, she is in a surplus. Could she have grown a beautiful amount of muscle in maintenance? Yes. Could she have grown as much muscle? No, because the surplus, she has more energy, she has more food, she can push harder in the gym, right? All of this fat will come off when she goes back down to maintenance. She can do a cut if she wants to get it off faster. Can she get that off in maintenance? Yes, because she didn't accumulate excessive fat in a surplus because she did her surplus properly, right? This is only 6 months apart. This is a huge difference. Huge difference. And her back is going to be even more jacked when that little layer of fat has come off. It works. But this could never happen by going through the motions. And this could never happen by not pushing super hard. And this could never happen by quitting when your mind says quit. Okay. Progressive overload, ladies, is more about adding a little bit of weight each week. You'll never get there by doing that. And you'll never get there if someone says, okay, next week add 10s. Okay, next week add 10s. Next week add 10s. They don't know how you're feeling that day. That is preventing you from so much growth you can be having. You need to be saying, okay, mind, I hear you. You're trying to quit, but I'm not going to. One more rep. That is Sierra's slogan that we have adopted at Queens of Iron. One more rep. One more rep. How much can you do? Okay. I invite you this week in every session, push harder and come back and tell me what a huge difference it made. I'm so excited for you. I hope this was super valuable for you. Have an amazing day.